Adsorbent and Protectives. Adsorbent and Protectives are used extensively in many veterinary pharmaceutical preparations. Adsorbent act by binding gases, toxins, and some organisms such as bacteria to prevent exposure to the damaged skin surfaces. Protective function by providing an occlusive layer of protection from external environment by providing mechanical support to the affected area. Protectives and absorbents can be further subdivided into two subclasses, the dusting powder and the mechanical protectives. Dusting powders are generally inert and innocuous substances. They include starch, calcium carbonate, talc, titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, and boric acid. Many are used in drug formulations alone or as vehicle for the delivery of other drugs. If the powdered particle has smooth surface, it will act mainly to prevent friction, thus protecting abraded and raw skin surfaces. Powdered particles with rough or porous surfaces act on skin by absorbing moisture. Water-absorbing powders tend to coalesce and eventually occlude on the skin surface when wetted and therefore should not be used on wet, moist, or highly exudative skin surfaces. Powders that also contain starch and other carbohydrates that are allowed to cake onto these moist skin surfaces give bacteria and fungi a source of energy, allowing them to proliferate. This may lead to a secondary bacterial and/or fungal skin infection or exacerbation of an existing microbial skin infection. Powder should not be used within body cavities like thorax, abdomen, or in skin abscesses, especially those powders containing talc. Talc has been shown to promote severe granulomatous reaction when used in these areas, but is relatively innocuous when used on intact skin surfaces. Mechanical protectives provide an occlusive film that protects the underlying skin from irritants present in the external environment like ultraviolet radiation, contact irritant, toxins, and it also provides mechanical support and are popular vehicle for many drugs. Many members of this group are used to treat cutaneous ulcer and other hard-to-heal cutaneous wounds. Compounds in this group include choline, lanolin, anhydrous lanolin, mineral oil, olive oil, peanut oil, petrolatum, zinc stearate, and recently a number of synthetic polymers. Products in this category may have protectant or absorbent qualities in the gastrointestinal tract. The coating action of these drugs protect inflamed mucosa from further irritation. Their absorbent activity binds bacteria or their toxins to protect against the harmful effects of these organisms and are less likely to be further absorbed into the body. Choline and pectin are two ingredients often used in protectant compounds. Products that are promoted as mucosal protectants such as mixture of choline and pectin or the cowpectate have been popular. Choline is a form of aluminum silicate and pectin is a carbohydrate that is extracted from the rinds of citrus fruits. The manufacturer claims that choline pectin acts as demulcent and absorbents in the treatment of diarrhea. The action of choline pectin is believed to be related to binding of bacteria toxins such as endotoxin and enterotoxins in the gastrointestinal tract. However, experimental studies have shown that choline pectin is an effective binder of E. coli enterotoxin, and clinical studies have failed to show a benefit from the administration of choline pectin. This product may change the consistency of stools, but it will not decrease fluid or electrolyte loss, nor it will shorten the duration of the illness. Clinical use of choline pectin. Despite the lack of clinical evidence of efficacy, some veterinarians administer this drug. Choline pectin is not absorbed, but salicylate may be absorbed in most animals. Drug interaction are also possible. Choline pectin may absorb or bind other drugs that are administered orally and decrease their effectiveness. Cowpectane formulation contains salicylate as one of the active ingredients. Since some animals may be sensitive to salicylates, The salicylate content of the formulation should be considered before administering the product to the animals. Bismuth Sub-Salicylate is a compound found in products such as corrective suspension and Pepto-Bismol. Although other mucosal protectants may have questionable efficacy, this product is considered by many gastroenterologists to be useful symptomatic treatment for acute diarrhea. Its efficacy has been proven in controlled clinical trials in humans with acute diarrhea, particularly the form caused by the enterotoxigenic E. coli. Bismuth may have some ability to absorb bacterial enterotoxins, and it may produce some gastric or intestinal protective effect. The salicylate component may be responsible for the efficacy because it produces an anti-inflammatory action. Practically, all of the salicylate from Pepto-Bismol is absorbed systematically when administered to dogs and cats. Despite the systemic absorption, the amount is unlikely to produce a salicylate toxicity. Even in cats, a species sensitive to salicylate toxicity, it is unlikely that enough would be administered from a standard dosage to produce a toxic reaction. Clinical uses of Bismuth Sub-Salicylate. The dose administered to animals was not derived from clinical studies, but extrapolated from human dosages. 1 to 3 mg per kilogram per day in divided doses have been administered safely, even to cats. Some animals may not like the taste, but otherwise, there have not been serious adverse side effects reported from administration of Pepto-Bismol. Salicylate toxicosis is possible from overdose, and pet owners should be advised to limit the amount administered, especially in animals with primary disease that may have initiated the diarrhea. Pet owners should be warned that Pepto-Bismol may turn the stool black. Bismuth also has an anti-helicobacter effect in the stomach, and it has been included in many of the regimens for treating Helicobacter gastritis. Therefore, some benefits for treating gastritis may have been caused from the action on Helicobacter or Helicobacter-like organisms. Pepto-Bismol also have been administered for the treatment of acute diarrhea in large animals, especially foals and calves. The presumed benefit is from binding the enterotoxins or from the anti-prostaglandin effect. Bismuth Sub-Salicylate compounds should be used with caution in cats because of the conversion to aspirin. Bismuth may appear opaque on radiographs and may interfere with the visualization of the abdominal organs. Administration of Bismuth Sub-Salicylate can result in black stools that resembles melena. Here are its dosage forms: Bismuth Sub-Salicylate, corrective suspension, Bismucote, Bismusal, Gastrocote, Pepto-Bismol, Choline Pectin, Cowpectoline, Cowpec, activated charcoal, Toxiban suspension and granules, Charcoaid, Liquichar.